Welcome to Goadsploration, where instead of making a 10-minute video about an entire Dark and Darker map, we spend 10 minutes mastering a single module. I've been demigod in every season, including the normal season, and I have way too many hours on this fucking game. Not everything in this video is going to be life-changing or mind-blowing, but what it is an exhaustive look at everything you need to know to master A4, Goblin Mine. A4 is important because of its high frequency of ore spawns, and is presently the only location in Dark and Darker where the player can obtain copper and iron ore in both normal and high roller lobbies. If you are new to Dark and Darker, then like a meth addict with a family member that doesn't keep track of their credit cards, Goblin Mine should quickly become your best friend. One of the largest problems I've seen from new players entering Dark and Darker for the first time is how difficult it is for them to acquire wealth and competitive gear, and how nervous they are to play with that gear for fear of losing it and not being able to replace it. Goblin Mine solves these problems by offering new players the opportunity to generate solid returns with minimal risk and investment. Iron ore is valuable for its use in crafting lockpicks and trap disarming kits, which even the most experienced players need to purchase in order to maximize their own runs, or in the case of the disarming kits, to use for the completion of quests. Additionally, because iron ore converts to ingots at twice the rate of other ore, it requires less physical mining to be able to produce returns. Copper, on the other hand, is premium Timmy currency. You can craft copper gear using white gear from the Squire as a base. It's always valuable because movement speed is one of the game's most sought after stats, and it's needed for some quests so it retains its sale value throughout the season. And if you're a plate enjoyer, the copper light boots come pre-equipped with some base strength, the same as epic quality, all while keeping your gear score in the low end. I could spend a whole video singing the praises of copper gear, so I'll keep this short and say that if you aren't comfortable yet with navigating the Crypt's Inferno, killing bosses, or fighting nightmare level mobs, copper and iron ore can be the material you need to bridge the stat gap and give you the padding to start delving deeper. Alright, now let's jump into Goblin Mine. Goblin Mine has two spawns. One is in the top left of the module, and it's worth noting I have only received this spawn while queued into duos and trios. That doesn't mean it's not possible from a solo perspective, I just haven't gotten it to confirm it. The second spawn is located on the first floor in the southeast side, and I have gotten this spawn in solos. There are 6 entrances in and out of Goblin Mine. 2 of them are located to the southwest side, one leading to the left into A3, and one south to the left side of B4. There is also one upstairs to the northeast leading to A5. On the other end, there are 2 located upstairs to the southeast. One leads south to the right side of B4, and the other leads east into A5. And then lastly, there is another entrance on the bottom floor that serves as a third entrance to A5. Yo dog, I heard you like going to A5. Goblin Mine has 8 static monsters and 1 variable monster, meaning a monster that will change from lobby to lobby. On the top floor, you'll find a Goblin Warrior and a Goblin Axeman, located by the southwest entrances. By the northeast entrance, you'll find 2 additional Goblin Warriors, and in the center of the bridge, you'll find this module's variable monster, which will be either a Goblin Archer or a Goblin Bolaslinger. On the bottom floor, you'll find 1 Goblin Axeman at the base of the stairs, a Goblin Archer near this module's static exit on the south side, and finally, a Goblin Warrior and Goblin Axeman located along the north wall. There are 7 static chests and 1 optional large chest in Goblin Mine. The static chests are comprised of 1 large, which spawns as either a gold chest or a lion's head, located behind a pallet, 3 medium chests, and 3 small chests, all of which can spawn as either oak, reinforced, or high roll as ornate. And finally, there is an optional lion's head, which can spawn on the north side of the bottom floor, and if present will always spawn as unlocked. There is 1 trap in Goblin Mine. It's a spike trap located on the top floor by the medium chests and southeast entrances. You'd kind of have to be a dingus to get hit by this thing. It feels like it was added here unnecessarily to try and stop this wide open area from being boring and unoccupied, but all it really accomplishes is making the goblins look like they know nothing about trap design. I have confirmed 9 ore spawns on the map, all of which spawn as either iron, cobalt, or copper. The Spells and Guns map shows 10 spawns, but there is 1 ore spawn I couldn't get to trigger at all with over 100 lobbies, so I'm inclined to believe it's just a relic of old data. If you can get a recording of this spawn in a modern patch, then let me know and I can append this video and give you credit. From my experience getting this footage, it seems like it almost always spawns 5 ore nodes in this module, but there were some lobbies where I spawned a bit farther away, and by the time that I got to Goblin Mine, there were only 4 nodes there. It could be that someone mined it before I arrived, but I didn't see any signs of traffic. For safety, let's say 4 to 5 ore nodes, almost always 5, and if you get an A4 spawn and can confirm an instance of 4 nodes, then again, please let me know so I can append this video. Of the 9 nodes that I confirmed, 5 of them are along the top floor wall in plain sight, 3 of them along the same wall on the bottom floor, and then 1 across the room near the static exit. The static exit on this map is a single extraction doorway. The opening time is inconsistent, but the closest estimation I currently have is that it seems to be in line with the rope extraction on A2. The window for the gate opening seems to be somewhere around 7.5 minutes to 5 minutes 15 seconds remaining in the lobby, but more investigation needs to be done on static extractions to get a clear view of exactly when they open and close. This extraction is perfect for new users who are looking to collect their lower rarity ores and extract, as you can mine away from the opening in the early parts of the lobby and then closer to the extraction towards the end. If you're not yet comfortable with PvP, then you can take that static extraction and bounce to secure your value. Sometimes if I'm at work and I don't really have time to play the game, I use this module on low roller so I can mine while working on my other monitor. It's not insane gold, but a few thousand gold per hour with minimum interaction is enough to assemble some juicier kits for when I really have time to give my undivided attention. I have confirmed 6 loose treasures on this map. None of them are noteworthy. The map shows a whopping 14 treasures in this module, and I gotta tell ya, I looked and I looked, but I ain't found shit. I mean, it even shows treasures way out here in no man's land. I got no idea what they're smoking. If you know something I don't, send me some screenshots, but as of right now, 6 is all that I know of. Alright, now let's get to my favorite part of these, jump tech and PvP advantages. There are 2 PvP positions you should know about in Goblin Mine. The first is in regards to the big wooden tower that appears in the center of the map. Players like to run along these edges here on the lower side to kite and shoot arrows, but there is actually a much better defensive point here that is easy to get to. When you hop over onto the tower, you'll notice a board sticking out on the side that is slanting up, and we can use that to hop on and walk up the length. Once we reach the top of that board, we can hop to reach the next level. This serves as a much better vantage point for defense that can't be reached by melee below us. I'm going to show 2 actual live clips here of this tech in action against barbarians who pushed into me while I was collecting footage in this module. In the first clip, we have a Bardiche Barb who pushes through and decides he wants a piece of what I've got. Now, I could just parry bonk this guy, but I wanted to show what happens when someone doesn't know this tech. He follows me as I get into position and realizes he can't W into me. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs, you piece of shit. Now what? He's going to throw all of his franny axes at me, which I can heal through indefinitely, and when I feel like this poor lad has had time to cool down, I think it's time to go poke the bear. I got my bow out, I'm going to go tap him with my stick, and now he's really ready to W hard. So we're going to do the exact same thing again, and he decides enough is enough. He's not going to take this shit. He can't figure out how to get up, so he tries to trade single swings with me, and he's eating headshots in return. Trade deals are fun and easy to win. After a couple of ouchies, he decides he doesn't want any more. He's going to get out of dodge, but this is when we come out of our hole and make him go nighty-night. Now, for the second clip, I want to show you that you can get into this position even with somebody already up your ass. I have a barbarian chasing me, and he's hitting me, and we're going to give him the old hop-a-doodle dandy. After getting into position, we're able to give him some stabs, and he tries and fails to do damage back before tripping, falling, and that causes Spaghetti to fall out of his pockets. How embarrassing. But he decides he's going to shield pot, he's going to come right back, and this time he's really going to W. But unfortunately for this guy, it's still not working. He looks down at the wood in confusion, and while he's trying to figure out why kids love the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, we're going to give him a stab since he isn't looking and paying attention. Ouchie. Once again, he realizes this isn't working out for him, so we pursue him, pepper him Robin Hood style, and I'm not here to measure wangs, I'm here to win, so this guy's dead as shit.
You don't fight with honor.
No. He did.
Getting into the high tower position can be done very quickly and from different routes. Here I'm going to show a quick clip of how you can do this coming from the bridge if you're being chased from the south side. A lot of players focus on increasing their movement speed, but they don't give much consideration to improving their routes, which allows even slow characters to catch up or outpace them. Small shavings make big differences, allowing for even slow goobers like me to catch speedy boys. Here are some quick jumps that you can make coming up the stairs on both sides to save a little time off your travel time to the bridge. The last position I'll show you is a great jump if you're a range class or using a slower two-hand weapon. You need to keep faster attackers from dubbing into you and spamming swings in close range. When coming up the stairs on the southeast side, you can jump up on the spiked barricade. You can move along the center and on the interior walls, but you'll notice that if you try and move through the center of the barricade, it will result in your feet getting trapped, so you gotta hop. To maintain full control of your movements, I recommend using the tips of the spikes when fighting from here, and that's going to allow you to have nice, smooth up and down movements along the wall. A few final notes about this zone I'll leave you with are that the ropes in this module are considered as solid objects, and they will block projectiles. However, they are not thick enough to sustain a character model. This is important for both placing your shots, as well as placing the ropes between you and your opponent for blocking thicker casting. On the bottom level, there is a kill spot that I've nicknamed the Suicide Wagon. I was trying to figure out a pathing to get from here to the bridge using the rocks, but instead all I could discover was how to kill myself and lose my loot. And lastly, if you need an extraction and the A4 extraction has been taken, your best bets will be to navigate south to B4 for the triple portal extractions in a pinch. Just be mindful that B4 is the most common extraction for groups who are leaving Cave Troll or those who miss the final elevator extract on C3. So be prepared for possible PvP. Consider shooting over to A2 for the rope extract instead if you're alone in a duo or trio lobby. All in all, Goblin Mine is going to get a final grade of A. Even though this module isn't full of huge treasure or mob value in terms of AP, the ease of access and value of its ore is very desirable for new players looking to accrue wealth and advance in the game. Additionally, it has an extraction, lots of travel points, and a great PvP advantage that can be ran to from neighboring zones if the opponent doesn't have any strong range capabilities. Thanks for watching, and happy delving.